What's going on, my people on YouTube? How's y'all doing? Hope y'all doing good. If not, I hope this video will help with that. But we finna react to some more drama. New Tory Lane evidence has came out, and yeah, we finna react to it and see what it is. You know, recently my boy just got stabbed up 14 times. I don't know, some seem a little bit off, but you know, we gonna watch the video. And don't forget to like and sub. If you ain't gonna sub, like. If you ain't gonna like, sub. It takes 2 seconds, please. It only take 2 seconds. It'll help me out a lot. But you know, let's get to the video.
Witness to the conversation, Miss.
Oh wait, hold on. Got to plug something up. Hold on.
Harris had, where she stated, witness to the conversation Miss Harris had, where she stated she had the gun, she fired it 3 times.
So rapper Tory Lanez has been sentenced to 10 years in prison for shooting fellow hip-hop star Megan Thee Stallion in 2020, just outside the famous names. You know, that case was widely publicized because it dealt with major social issues like casting doubt on female victims and protecting black women in general. And when the Los Angeles District Attorney filed charges against Lanez, he rejected a plea deal, instead taking the case to trial. Well, the judge considered all aggravating factors, including Lanez's actions online. Prosecutors say he continued to traumatize Megan Thee Stallion after the shooting by posting about the case on social media, even rapping about it in his music, that prompting many of his fans to attack and harass her online. In a victim impact statement read before the sentencing, Megan wrote that Tory Lanez not only shot her, but made a mockery of her trauma. ABC News legal contributor and trial attorney Brian Buckmeyer joins me now. You've been following this from the very beginning. Brian, you know, Tory was sentenced less than, what, the 13 years prosecutors were asking for. Does that surprise you?
The sentence does surprise me, Kira, but I don't think it's for the same reason that many people are surprised. And this is why I say that. Many people have reached out and said, Brian, 10 years sounds like a lot for this type of shooting, where they've probably heard people get far less for the same amount of conduct. But you've got to think about it this way. In terms of the charge in California, the aggravating factors, we weren't talking about a 0 to 22 years and 8 months. We were actually talking about 9 years to 22 and 8 months. So if you're looking at that scale, he got much lower than what the prosecution was asking for and close to the minimum. And considering the impact statements, especially from Megan Thee Stallion, I thought the judge would have gone above what the prosecution was asking for, not far below.
So how much of this time do you think Tory will actually have to serve?
So in California, you serve 85% of the time. 15% is what's called good time. And 10 years makes for easy math. That's 8.5 years. But you also have to consider that from December 23rd to now, that time will be credited towards him. So he's only going to serve about 7 years and 11 months. So I'm not giving an exact estimate, but around 2030 of July, he should be getting out.
So his attorneys say that the legal team plans to appeal the sentencing. So what do you think will happen? What does happen next?
So they already lost an appeal in May for 2 issues, specifically that his statements came in saying supposedly that he told Megan Thee Stallion, don't say anything because I'm on parole, and also the DNA evidence that was inputted. And they said that that prejudiced the jury, but an appellate judge said, no, that's not a reason for a new trial. So they can't argue those issues, but they can argue any other evidentiary issues or that the sentence was too high. But when you're thinking from 9 to 22 years, it's hard to argue that it's too high. They'll also argue that he should have bail or be out pending the appeal. And I think those will be probably the 3 arguments they make.
So what evidence did they have on Tory just to give him a 10-year sentence? Because I forgot. I don't know what evidence they had on him. Was it just word of mouth, like people, you know, saying he shot her? Like I don't know. I completely forgot. If they had no evidence on this man and he was serving 10 years, that's crazy. That is wild.
going forward. But also, Tory Lanez is a Canadian citizen. He doesn't have American paperwork. And so he's also facing a potential of deportation, not now, but if and when his sentence is fully served.
So, you know, before I let you go, Brian, because we're all music fans, right? I'm thinking, you know, it was all a part of the case, the fact that she says he traumatized her for what he did by harassing her online, even putting certain types of lyrics into his music and making a mockery of her. I mean, this could be an opportunity for her to make some music with more positive messaging for exactly what he was doing, taking down and his fans, you know, taking down black women, the protection of black women, and there's an opportunity for here. I know as a lawyer, and when you've represented people, you have seen a lot of good that can come out of something like this. I mean, music can make it create such change.
Yeah, I mean, Megan Thee Stallion has said, even in her impact statement, that she has not had a day of peace since this. And we know that music can both be cathartic and healing, but also help to inspire. And so, at least for me, I hope that Megan, in finding the peace that she deserves, because she did not deserve this, I hope that in finding the peace that she deserves, she can hopefully use music not only to heal herself, but also maybe be a voice for black women, as she has always been, so that they can also find their voice if they ever find themselves in a similar situation.
Brian Buckmeyer. Appreciate you.
My pleasure.
Oh, no. Not 2 days ago, Seti Nash said...
Mr. James informed us he was working as the bodyguard and driver for Ms. Kelsey Harris during Mr. Peterson's trial. As such, he was in close proximity.
Now, who is this dude? Who is this? I don't know who this is. That's not his pops.
She was having
right?
with her husband and others. Mr. James informed us he was not under a non-disclosure agreement or a confidentiality agreement and was free to speak with Unite the People, and that he was doing it because his conscience would not let him not speak and leave a man in prison for something he did not do. Mr. James informed Unite the People that he was a witness to the conversation Ms. Harris had, where she stated she had the gun, she fired it 3 times. Mr. Peterson grabbed her arm and knocked it down, and the gun fired 2 more times. In essence, Mr. Peterson never shot anybody, never even touched that gun, never fired the gun. This statement aligns with the statement of the only non-party witness to the case, Mr. Sean Kelly, who at trial testified he saw 2 women fighting, 2 men break up the fight, 1 man grabbed the other one's arm. Gunshots came from the passenger side. Passenger side is where Ms. Harris was sitting. This further iterates that Mr. Peterson did not shoot Miss Pete, did not shoot at Miss Pete, or did not assault Miss Pete. It's just another irregularity in a list of irregularities in this case. For example, there were 3 potential suspects in the car that night, and yet the only DNA sample was taken of Mr. Peterson, even though unknown DNA was found on the gun. Why wasn't Miss Harris's DNA taken?
I didn't know they did that. Wow, I didn't know they did that. So they took everybody. They took nobody else's DNA but Tory's. That's crazy. And then the unknown DNA was on the gun. Wow, and he got locked up. He was gonna do 10 years for this, bro.
Was it taken and the information simply never given to the defense? Why wasn't the driver of the car, Mr. Jaquan Smith's DNA taken? Or was it taken and again, simply not given to the defense?
That is crazy, bro. I ain't even gonna lie. If y'all want to watch the full video, go ahead, subscribe to Seti Nash, and you know, watch this video. But that is crazy. I'm not gonna lie to you. That is wild. So basically, the whole time it was against him and nobody else. That is wild, bro. And another thing is, like, I knew Tory ain't do it, bro. I just knew Tory ain't. I knew Tory ain't do it, bro. It was just like, I don't know. They was saying she stepped on glass in her foot, and that's what the cuts came from, or something like that. There was no bullet fragments in her foot or something. I don't know. The story was all over the place, but I knew Tory ain't do it, man. I knew Tory ain't do it. Then it's crazy that he got stabbed up 14 times. Then this comes out. Was this like a, get him out the way, type situation? Somebody trying to set him up, kill him? Like, what did he do to get them people that mad to stab him up 14 times? You know what I mean? It's just crazy to me. I don't know, man. But free Tory. Hope he is well up in that jail. I heard he is doing fine. He's doing good. So, that's a good thing. But I feel like Megan should go to jail for lying on Tory. At least do the years he did. How many years he do? Like 3 years? She need to do 3 years in jail. That's how I look at it. Somebody lie on me like that, they deserve jail time. Cause this happens way too often. Way too often. These women lying on these men, and then they end up going to jail. Then, a few years go past. He was innocent the whole time. Happens way too often. And then what's even crazier is Tory can't get them 3 years back. He can't get them back. Like them pass, he can't get it back. So he was basically sitting in jail for no reason. Something that he didn't do. That's just, man, the system is so against us men, man. And I'm just not gonna say black men against us men. The system is just against us. So yeah, free Tory. And yeah. Hope y'all like the video. Like I said, don't forget to like, subscribe. If you ain't gonna subscribe, like. If you ain't gonna like, subscribe. Take 2 seconds. And peace.